Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the week 6 session. We are going to discuss this week about the internet technologies and search engine strategies in the context of operation management. However, we will be also discussing about the time management, further discussion for network diagram and critical path analysis in the next pre-recorded lecture session in the next session. For the internet technologies and the search engines, it is the continuation from our last week when we were talking about big data analytics and data visualization. We are trying that how the operation management or the operations management activities can be improved and enhanced across the board of any business where they want to enhance their sales and marketing, their, for example, production, manufacturing, customer relationship, and finding the big data analytics in the best interest for addressing key business challenges. So a search engine is, we know, is a web-based tool that enables users to locate information on the World Wide Web. It is also very common in practice now because World Wide Web is quite popular example of search engine we are using for searching any particular information we are after in a personal life or in the social life or in a business life. So even in research and searching, we use Google Scholar for various research articles. So one of the very common search engine that we are familiar with, or which is very popular worldwide among the search engines, is Google. However, MSN and Yahoo, they are also used as the other key search engines. But what is exactly we mean by search engine? We know a search engine is a software system that is designed to carry out web searches, which means to search the World Wide Web in a systematic way for a particular information that we are after that is specified in a textual web search query, for example. Search engine process and the store information they find in an index is a huge database worldwide of all the content they already have discovered. The search engine utilizes basically the automated software application they refer to as robots or bots or spiders sometimes that travel along the World Wide Web following links from page to page, site to site. The information gathered by these bots or spiders is basically then used to create a searchable index of the web. For example, in 2020, Google was the indisputable champion of the world search engine market. So the largest research indicates that Google has already acquired the major market share for as a search engine, which is even more than 80% worldwide. So other leaders in the search industry are, for example, Bingo, the Chinese version, Bido, and then we have Yahoo, Yandex, Ask.com, and MSN, for example. These all search engines are basically helping, and we see how they work. Basically, the search engine application for locating the web page or other content on a computer network or using other smart devices. They're using bots or spiders. How they work? Using this spider, the World Wide Web through search engine, this web bots or bots, they're just like use the programs in a computer or small computer designed to perform automated repetitive tasks over the internet. So bots scan the web pages and then return information to be stored in the repository or the page database or key repository. So each search engine uses different complex mathematical formulas or algorithms to generate search results. The results for specific query are then displayed on the search engine. For example, the result pages, sometimes we call it SERP, search engine algorithm, take the key elements of the web page, including the page title, content, and keyword density, and that's also ranking for where to take place the result for the search engine result pages, for example. The idea, if you look into the uploaded video to the Week6, you will see that all the important search engines, including Google, Yahoo, American Online, Bingo, they all are using the approach more or less the same by applying the applications for locating the web pages or other content on the computer network using bots or spiders. So the importance of search engine in today's world, when we see how search engine are used, we know search engine work by taking list of unknown URLs, that is the uniform relay location, which then go to the scheduler. The scheduler decides when to crawl each URL. The crawled pages then go to the parser where vital information is extracted and indexed. So the idea basically why it is important to use search engine, we know enterprise search engine tools allow organization to share information specifically internally, but organization have the ability to share their knowledge among employees, which is vital to its ability to compete, and the information among the staff for their knowledge as a key knowledge worker for making the right decision, because information is not always in the same format, so spiders and bots can turn unstructured information in a better, more structured pattern, and that gonna boost and provide more helpful data information to the intranet within the organization for different staff to perform their assigned responsibilities. But how data we differentiate and we use both in the structured and in structured format. So the structured data, we mean the information with a high degree of organization, such that inclusion in a relation database is seamless and readably searchable by simple, straightforward search engine algorithm or other search operations is structured data. However, the data which is messy, not organized in a systemic or predefined way, is unstructured data. So that is how we differentiate, for example, the unstructured data as a rich media and entertainment data, surveillance data, geospatial data, audio, weather data, for example. But structured data is clearly defined and searchable type of data, while unstructured data is usually stored in its native format. On the one end, structured data is quantitative, while the unstructured data can be qualitative. Again, if you compare between the both, we say that the structured data can be, for example, is easy to search and analyze through big data analytics, and the unstructured data, they require more work to process and understand at the same time. So structured data can be existing in the predefined format, while the unstructured data is can be existing in a variety of different various formats. But we use tools for search engine, and then sometimes we use search engine optimization tools. So what are the key tools in search engine that are more appropriate? For example, Google Trend is an online tool that helps users visualize and discover trend in people's search behavior within Google search or Google News or Google Images or Google Shopping, and sometimes YouTube, for example. That is real-time search we use, and we have a trend, we call it Google trend, on the top, stay on the list of the search pages or search pages result. Alert is another important tool which provide, for example, different specific information from different sources. We get the Google alert that identify and notify at the same time. And then Twitter is another important tool used for searching and specifying the specialty search, that's vertical searching. So program to focus on web pages related to a particular topic and to drill down by crawling pages that other search engines are likely to ignore is one of the key important tool used in the search engine. The idea of the Google, for example, using Google Images or Google, for example, Trend or News, there can be various search engine optimization tools that can be used, or maybe different organizations, they take the advantages from, let's say, Google Analytics is to online marketer like airline and the companies, they want to find out what people are looking for, how they are searching, and how the Google search engine can help for finding the trend with geography or demography. And we get the statistics for Google Analytics. That is basically, we use journal, sometime Google Search Console, and for example, the organization, they prefer to use their search engine optimization for bringing the portal or the website or social media or the organization promotion or marketing their product or services, and how they can use different tools for the search engine that the organizations come on the top of the list when somebody is looking for particular terms to search worldwide, and how the organization's presence electronically can, or web-based or internet-based presence can be optimized. For this reason, we are looking at the search engine marketing tool, let's say, for example, for enhancing the promotion and marketing of the organization. Some search engine tools use both inbound and outbound marketing techniques or tactics. Inbound, we know this is the approach to marketing that emphasizes the search engine optimization, content marketing, and social media strategies to attract customer. That is the broader or the holistic approach we can apply with the outbound as a traditional approach using mass media advertising like leaflet, handbills, newspaper, electronic pop-up emails, television, billboards, etc. So the idea basically in the inbound marketing, we are using in different businesses a methodology that attract customer by creating valuable content and experience that's tailored to that particular segment of the market or based on the geographic or demographic. For example, we have a topical blogs, social media campaign. We use a Facebook page or Twitter account, or sometime the Pinterest. Ebooks can be one of the tool used as an example for inbound marketing. Search engine optimization, or the viral videos, web-based seminars, for example, or webinars. The interruption marketing or the outbound marketing on the other end is promoting a product through continual or continued or continuous advertisement, promotions, public relation. So the outbound marketing example can include traditional form of marketing like television ad or commercial ad on radio or television, etc. So we use sometime the search engine optimization black hat. This is the term, or you can use a technique in the marketing. The black hat search engine optimizations is a technique or a tactic that is applied to rank the company website that may be violating some search engine protocols or guidelines. So black hat search engine optimization technique is basically trying to attempt to rather manipulate search engine algorithm to increase the site's ranking on search engine result pages. While the black hat search engine is, though it is not illegal, but it violates the webmaster guideline set in the search engine. So gaming the system or tracking search engine into ranking a site higher than its content deserves, so that is quite unethical. So link, for example, spamming journal backlinks towards search engine optimization that not adding users value, or key tricks that embedded high value keywords to drive the traffic statistics, or the ghost text, sometime hidden text in the background that will affect the web page ranking, and then sometime, yes, shadow pages. It's just like a ghost or clock. They created pages optimized to attract lots of people through redirecting them. So black hat marketing is the use of unethical strategies to promote marketing online for online business, for example, in contrast to ethical white hat strategy. So black hat strategy use deception sometime and manipulation to accomplish the certain sales and marketing objective for online promotion. So the we are looking at how we can provide the right information, and then the semantic web or metadata is the right search approach. So metadata is defined as a data providing information about one or more aspect of the data. So it is to avoid any deception. It is the metadata used to summarize basic information about the data, which can make tracking and working with specific data for easier understanding. So metadata is the data that provide information about various other relevant data. In other words, it is data about data. That's why we call it metadata. Many distinct type of metadata exist, including descriptive, so metadata structural metadata, for example, or administrative metadata, reference, and as well as statistical metadata. Some of the example include, for example, means of creation of a data, purpose of the data, time, and date creation. So the semantic web is an extension of the World Wide Web through standards set by World Wide Web Consortium, so that's W3C. So semantic, along with the metadata, they describe the meaning of the data basically. So semantic metadata can be used to increase traffic as a white hat from search engine, as such metadata can provide search engines with more information about the content being searched. So we're looking that the goal of the semantic website is basically to make internet data machine readable for smart techniques to apply for search engine optimization. Searching for meaning or cementing the semantic search, which is basically used to increase the traffic from search engine. As such, metadata can provide search engine with more information about the content being searched. So metadata that describes and provide information about other relevant data. At the same time, semantic search process of typing something into a search engine and getting more result than just those that feature the exact keyword typed into the search box, for example. The semantic web, on the other end, is meaningful computing using metadata in its application of natural language processing. So that NLP, natural language processing, helping to support the information retrieval analytics, and data integration that encompass both numerical and unstructured information. The idea basically is the getting the best meaning from semantic search. We can see the data that describe and provide information about other relevant data. For example, the phone call data content of phone call, usually a recording of the call itself, and then example of the phone call metadata can be time of the call, the number of the caller or number of the different calls, duration of the call, for example, in a specific time or a day, and then cell-based location of the parties end to end. These are some of the examples for metadata, for example. So we are looking here what exactly we mean by metadata. When we say to understand metadata and its understanding, we are looking here that two major types. They can be technical and business operational data. Here you can see the technical aspect of the metadata generally is generated as a data which is processed, stored, and manipulated, which can be then related to database organizations and internal feature of the structure data at the same time. So if you look and compare technical metadata to the business metadata, which is generated as a byproduct of the business operation, and that can explain how data was collected initially and how it is entered the system and what business processes and operation it relates to. So the business metadata basically is the data that adds a business context to other data. It provides information that's authored by business people or experts or used by business different stakeholders. So it is in contrast to technical metadata, which is the data used in the storage and structure of the data in a database or a system or database system indeed. So business data business metadata adds context to the data that is either created or used by business people, or it exists all over the organization. Data does not speak for itself in the business metadata. It is often required to give the business context and critical background information. It can contain information just as valuable as the data itself. For example, sales data is useful to establish that particular branch A which had higher sales in a given period than branch B. However, business metadata can help as an analyst understand why this was the case, what specific processes were in place, for example. Semantic searching, on the other end, the traditional searching is done by attempting to match keywords in a search term with keywords associated with particular object in a database. So when we are looking for semantic search, it is the data searching technique basically in which a search query aims to not only find keywords but to determine the intent as well as the contextual meaning of the word a person or any one individual is using or applying for specific search. So for example, in 2012, Google basically introduced Google knowledge graph. The knowledge graph from Google was introduced to help users to discover new information quickly and easily. So the Google knowledge graph leverages the semantic search to basically the sphere meaning, which helps users find the information as key that want as the key words used for finding the information as fast as possible. So the traditional searching is done by attempting to match keywords in a search term with key associated with the particular object in a database, for example. However, searching for the mark pollard, for example, in a student database would scan all objects in the database for fields matching this term, usually returning entries with mark pollard in the name field. So semantic search denotes search with meaning as distinguished from the lexical search, where this search engine looks for literal matches of the query, the words that you are looking, or variant of them without understanding the overall meaning of the query. So the overall, when we see to the semantic search, we know that, however, this is less useful when dealing with a large amount of unstructured data like the web itself. So the semantic searching, we have a video clip you need to watch in your own time. The two major problems with using the key model for all searches of the unstructured databases: intent and context. So semantic search is when a whole lot of resources are used in order to perform a search rather than just a keyword. What is intended and what is the context? In other words, semantic search use a wide variety of information to give your search result. So in short, the purpose of semantic search is basically to go beyond the static dictionary meaning of a word or a phrase to understand the intent of a searcher's query within a specific context. By learning from past result and creating links between the entities, a search engine might then be able to deduce the answer to a searcher's query rather than provide 10 blue links that may or may not provide the correct answer. For example, how tall is the Empire State Building? You basically looking at how you have the intention when you say window. Was it a Microsoft window, or you want the window which is real in life? What is the intent and what is the context? So you say, for example, the weather, Dublin city, for example. You Google and you say, what is the weather in Milton Keynes or in Dublin or in London, for example. So you are looking for the information that is not coming only in the format, in the intent, but of course in the context at the same time. The idea is basically that how you searching, let's say for Apple, when you say cheapest Apple, so what comes on the search engine, that is the semantic searching, because semantic search is where when a whole lot of resources are used in order to perform a search rather than just a keyword. And then you see for particular specific information. So the purpose of semantic search is to go beyond the static dictionary meaning of the word or purpose to understand the intent of the search query with specific context at the same time. That is more appropriate. So the semantic web is an attempt to add data and metadata to web documents in such a way as to make those documents easy to process, aggregate, and understand for machines without human input. So that's the machine intelligence to interpret and understand. This can be used to turn web documents and basic web data into a form of structured data that can be understood and processed automatically. However, this is driven by the RDF, Resource Description Framework, as a standard which aims to create ontology system for the exchange of information. This is also important that you share your thoughts and ideas regarding search engine optimization, and how we are basically using the search engine in a web-based as a web-based tool that enable users to locate information on the World Wide Web. We know that the search engine or search engine optimization tools are used, and every search engine uses, we know that, different complex mathematical formula to generate search result. However, the search engine can work by crawling, using the spider, the bots, but the tools we are using for search engine optimization, the main purpose is basically the information that we want to get, or the data, especially metadata or semantic data, which is giving us more useful information, which provide information about one or more aspects of the data, and it also used to summarize basic information about, let's say, big data analytics, and it also provide the meaning for creation of the data, purpose of the data, time and date creation. So that's quite relevant information, along with the certain element both in the business metadata or technical, for example, metadata we are using, and that is a number of information which adds meaning in the context of the data, that's easier for business use, either created or used by the business people, and it exists all over the organization. So please do share your ideas. What are the implications of privacy, for example, in the semantic web, troubling or promising for users? What implication does the semantic web have for data analysis within companies and data silos? What implication does the semantic web have for marketing and customer relationship management system? You can share your thoughts and ideas for both the metadata or semantic search, or searching the techniques we are using as a query M, not only finding keywords but to determine the intent and the contextual meaning of the word that anyone is looking to search in the search engine. You can read between the lines from your textbook and core book, and we will discuss further from your key guided learning elements on the workshop, and we'll discuss when we have workshop in your designated timetable slot. Okay, bye-bye.